everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Karina and I actually ran out of ideas of what I should do for my next video. I mean, I could have continued with my Disney inspired looks and I could have done some more makeup challenges that have been out there in the past. But I decided I was going to let my Instagram followers give me some ideas of what to do. And there was one that I really felt like was a challenge, and it was actually given to me by my best friend's husband. He challenged me to do the Terminator. Obviously, I am not skilled enough to do the kind of makeup artistry that is on the film, where they make it look like he's literally like metal on one side and on the other. So I did my own inspiration of what I feel like it would look like if the Terminator was a beauty guru or a beauty YouTuber. So this is what I did. I did two different faces, one a little bit more chiseled, a little bit more dramatic. I did a half cut crease with the red kind of looking like his red eye, and then the other half just a normal everyday thing, because if you look at, I looked at a picture from the Terminator back when Arnold was the Terminator. So just his other side of his face is just normal, what he would look like every day if it was completely his face. So if you want to see how I created this look and how I got to this dramatic eyeshadow look that honestly I think would look really cool if you just wore it to go out or to a party or something like that, I think it would look really cool too. But if you want to see how I created my Terminator beauty YouTuber, then keep on watching.
Alright, so I already did the left side of my face and you're seeing the right side. It's completely done. I'm going to start with my right eyebrow with that dark cool toned brown. And if you notice, my face actually, my entire face has foundation on it, but the eye that I'm working on right now, I haven't put any concealer underneath and I haven't set my face so that that step could be put out of the way. So I decided to go with a darker brown than I normally do. I usually use this exact color mixed with a lighter cool tone brown. So you'll notice it's a tiny bit darker than my other eyebrow, just for that whole like darker, more intense look. Now I'm going to go ahead and set those with my NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. Next, I'm using my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer to prime my eyelids. And while I'm priming them, I'm going to go ahead and kind of carve out my eyebrow. I usually don't do this because I actually prefer the natural look of my eyebrow. I don't need them to be super sharp, but for this particular side of my face, I did want it to be more sharp and defined. I'm going to go ahead and take this powder from Becca Cosmetics. This is the Hydra Mist Set and Prep. I'm going to prep my eyelid with some powder so I can start putting on that eyeshadow. I'm going to start with the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette. I'm going to use Black Memory in Matte. I'm going to take this little eyelid brush. It's kind of a crease brush, but it's also flat. And I'm just kind of carving out my crease and bringing it up into like a winged shape. Alright, now I'm going to go back into that palette and I'm going to use Ritual Matte. And I'm going to use that to blend out the black and diffuse it so it's not too harsh. And I'm going to repeat those steps again, adding a little bit more black onto the outer third of my lid. Because we are going to do a half cut crease later. So again, like I said, I'm repeating the steps. Added some black and now I'm diffusing with that brown. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease. I'm just doing a half cut crease, so I'm using that same concealer I used earlier. And I'm going to carve out that shape that I kind of defined already. I'm just making it a little bit more defined now. And now I want to try something a little bit different, and I actually enjoyed how it turned out. But since I'm going to have that red there, I decided to use a liquid lipstick on top of that concealer to really help that red eyeshadow pop. And this is the liquid lipstick. This is from Urban Decay. And now moving on to the Ace Beauty palette, Vintage Dawn. And I'm going to take this shimmer red right here. And this is what I'm going to lay on top of that cut crease that we are attempting to make here. I'm going to keep patting that down with the brush. And see how intense that made the red come out? Because it had a sort of red base. I've never seen anyone do that before, but I figured since people have done the makeup challenge with liquid lipsticks, it would work out nicely. So now I'm going to take that brush that I used for the black earlier, and I'm just kind of blending the red into the black. And taking a little rag that I use to clean my face sometimes, I just wet it with some makeup removing products, and I am cleaning and carving out that edge. And now that I've done my eyeshadow on my lid, I'm going to go ahead and do my concealer like I normally do underneath my eye, but I am using my finger to blend it out instead of a brush, just to give myself a little more precision. I'm just going to go ahead and set that. Now that that's all done, I'm going to go ahead and use the Memory and Matte underneath my eyes on my lower lash line with that pinched brush, and I'm going to buff it out also with Ritual Matte like I did on the crease. Now I'm going to take this shimmer, I believe it's an Aura, and I'm going to do an inner corner highlight with that. Nothing too crazy. Now this LA Girl Line Art liquid eyeliner, I'm going to do a slight wing with this just to emphasize the shape of this and really make my eyes pop. I want this eye look to be really dramatic because there is a dramatic difference between each side of the Terminator's face. Now, surprise, this is a different mascara. This is actually my favorite mascara right now, but I'm hoarding it basically. Trying not to use it unless I absolutely need to. This is the Essence Princess Mascara. So good. I'm going to quickly highlight my face, and I'll show you guys in a second. I forgot to show you first. This is a Morphe highlight. It's pretty golden. I wanted the highlight to stand out, so it's definitely too dark for my face, but that helps it stand out a bit more. I'm using the Ciate London blush right here. And I'm going to over blush a little bit. Again, this side is much more intense. And now here I am using that brush, that eyeshadow brush, to carve out my face with some black eyeshadow to try to give that look. And here I am buffing it out and realizing this isn't really working. So I went ahead and I went to clean my face. I cleaned everything from the original line I made below. Thankfully, I didn't set my face, so I just put my foundation back on in those areas. And now I'm going to bronze with that really dark color right there. Much too dark for my skin tone, but I'm going to use a little bit more of a precise brush. And I'm just going to use this almost like a contour. Over here trying to make my face look nice and chiseled. But my chunky cheeks show through. It's okay. They're cute though. Alright, now I'm going into my Pretty Vulgar bronzer, and I'm just kind of going to buff that color out and give some warmth to my skin within the definition. I use that blush brush to kind of blend the blush back in, and this is the bronzer that I used. Going back in with a little bit more blush because I felt like the bronzer was too harsh and I needed to blend it in a little bit. And I'm using some powder here to really chisel out that bronzer. And here I'm actually going into Memory Matte, and I'm kind of emphasizing the creases of my lips on the side of the face that is more chiseled out for the Terminator look. And then I decided I should probably kind of contour my nose. So I actually used my Pretty Vulgar bronzer for this, just to give a little bit more definition. I know typically you'd use a cooler toned contour color, but I went ahead and used my bronzer for this since the rest of my face looks pretty warm. And just kind of blended that out both with my finger and the brush, excuse me. And now I'm going in with this Luna by Luna lip gloss. It's a nice sparkly nude lip gloss. I didn't want to ruin the line, so I patted in on that side.
All right, guys, that's it. I finished my face. One half looking like the Terminator's face with all the metal and the red eye and everything, and the other half looking normal. What do we think? I think if the Terminator was a beauty YouTuber, then I would imagine that her face or his face would look something like this. But that's just my imagination. If you want to take this on like a challenge, you want to try to do your own version of this, I would love to see these videos and pictures of what it looks like. So just let me know and tag me in it somewhere so I can go see it. And if you really enjoyed this video and liked watching how I put this together, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down over here. And I hope you come back to see our next video. If you have any other ideas, like I said earlier in the beginning, I ended up asking my Instagram followers who or what I should do for my next video. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below and I'll take a look. All right, thanks. See you next time. Bye.